welcome back to episode 2 of the Unposted Thoughts podcast. I'm Adrian. I've got my amazing co-host,
Johnny.
And we're in the building. We've got an array of topics that we kind of want to touch on.
Yep, definitely.
And I'll let Johnny get the ball rolling.
Well, something very shocking that I saw on YouTube is about this sergeant that he pulled over someone. He pulled over someone on the suspicion that he stole his girlfriend's vehicle, and it was the sergeant and another, I guess, his partner, and
Okay.
they ended up taking him out of the vehicle, searching him multiple times, and they actually had him in custody. And as he was approaching his vehicle from the back of the vehicle, he heard what he thought was a gunshot, and what unraveled after that was...
This is the acorn situation?
Yeah.
Where the acorn fell and
Yes.
the cop started shooting? Or I don't know if he did start shooting.
Yeah, he ended up shooting at his vehicle and emptied the whole magazine. In the clip, it seemed that his gun was, you know how weapons, you can cock them back?
It was already ready to go.
It was empty. Basically, the weapon was cocked back. Basically, telling me that it was unloaded. He had a magazine in his hand, probably the empty one, and I'm not sure if it was an overreaction because he rolled twice on someone's lawn, and he was screaming, "I got hit," and the guy didn't shoot. I would just imagine how frightened he was in custody.
It was nature. That was Mother Nature getting somebody shot.
Yep. Over one acorn, imagine. So luckily he didn't get hit. He missed every shot. And
okay. Question though.
Uh-huh.
Did he steal the girlfriend's car?
I think so, but I'm not sure how. I don't think he got far.
But he stole.
Yeah, I think he did take his girlfriend's car because the girlfriend was the one that initiated the call.
911 call.
Yeah, and I'm
That
pretty
makes
sure
sense.
they just got all the information from the.
From what I saw, this happened in Florida, right?
Yeah, it did.
That makes sense.
Anything happens in Florida.
Have you heard the term Florida man?
Just once, probably
like
once or twice.
It's kind of like a thing online. I don't want to call it a meme, but it is a thing online where people reference like the bizarre things that happen in Florida, and it's always like Florida man.
Yeah, that's how they label anything weird happening in Florida. That's what I heard. They have a lot of bizarre things happening over there. I think crocodiles are a big thing over there. I'm pretty sure.
Swamplands.
Yeah, fishing them out of pools, finding them wherever. Honestly, they roam, and I'm pretty sure they do a lot of bizarre things. You know, dress abnormally, do abnormal things.
Well, I hate to go back to GTA, but the trailer, it's supposed to be in Florida, right? Miami.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the trailer, all the crazy
Yes,
things
I did. Yep.
that are happening in the trailer. It's because crazy things happen in Florida.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that in the trailer they do have an officer or someone pulling an alligator out of someone's pool. So it's just we all know, like alligators in Florida are just one and the same.
Well, it's swampland over there, so it's like
yeah.
wet and sticky and
Oh,
like you said,
yeah,
full of alligators.
full of alligators.
I mean, what else as far as news or bizarre things? Do we want to... I mean, so many things happen in Florida on a weekly basis. It's kind of like...
Also, like a big thing is like UFOs. You know, a lot of sightings. I've just seen so many because they cross the headlines, you know, on every or any news station. because it's such a concept that we always we always bring up, because among ourselves we're very egotistical, even though you don't notice it. But us humans are very egotistical with being a race, being ourselves. I'm for sure a little egotistical.
Like
sometimes.
we want to be the main, or like the top of the food chain, pretty much.
Exactly. And this concept, the reason it's so big is because it tells us that we're not alone.
So let me ask you something. Do you think? Let me rephrase my question. Do you believe in life outside of Earth?
Oh, definitely. The reason being is a reason a lot of people bring up. Space is infinitely expansive. So what they call our Earth being in the Goldilocks zone, basically not too close or far enough from the sun where we're just baked to perfection, and who's to say that doesn't happen in other solar systems?
Yeah.
If it can, people theorize, and it's tossed around, that even Mars held life once. They see like rivers and all these signs that life was once there. I'm not sure how far it got.
Did you see NASA is paying people to stay in a Mars simulation kind of thing? I think 1 full year, or I don't know if they're paying people, but they're doing a study, and they want people to donate their time to stay in a Mars simulation for, I think it was a year.
Oh, a whole year? I don't think. I'm so.
I'm assuming they're paying, because I wouldn't do it unless.
Of course, it's all about.
There was some compensation.
Yeah, of course. I would want to get compensated too if I wanted to be somewhere for a year.
And live in God knows what conditions.
Yeah, because Mars is not a habitable planet. It's very aggressive. It doesn't have an atmosphere, so you got. If you think getting sunburned in the beach is bad, just imagine being on the surface of Mars pointed towards the sun. That's just 20 times worse, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And would you do something like that? Like if NASA came and said, "Hey, Johnny, we need you to either stay in, like, I don't know, a Mars simulation, a Jupiter simulation, or a zero gravity simulation for 3 months, 6 months, or even a year."
Honestly, I would refuse. And the reason being is I'm so interwoven with just life, bills, working, payments, etc.
What if they come and they say, "Dude, we got a crazy amount of money for you"? Like,
possibly.
What dollar amount would it take?
More
to get Johnny in a Mars simulation.
Definitely more than 500,000, because compared to my yearly salary, and just keeping in mind what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna be on technology most likely, and if it is, it's based on how our housing is doing or whatever we need to do to survive on this habitless planet.
I wonder if Verizon works on Mars.
If they get a cell tower, you got a Verizon just tower there to give yourself signal.
What about electricity,
I'm pretty sure they can do a lot of solar panels. Since it doesn't have an atmosphere, we can't heat up Mars, because the heat is not pulled in. It just flies out, because it's Mars, and since it doesn't have an atmosphere, like oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide, it's like if you...
So is it cold?
It's cold on the dark side. It's like, imagine just sleeping outside, and then since the surface pointed towards the sun is constantly getting heated by the sun, it's super hot. Just imagine a desert.
Yeah.
And even the desert, when night falls, it gets cold.
Yeah.
It's super cold because it's just barren. Nothing to keep the heat in on the surface. It just dissipates.
Wow. You know a lot about other planets.
It's very...
You studied like marine biology, for a moment?
Vaguely.
I don't know what that has to do with planets, but it sounds
like it should
worldly.
It'd be related.
Yeah.
I think so too, because oceans,
Yeah, water, chemicals and stuff. And
yeah, because we came from oceans so many years ago, billions of years ago. We came from, evolved from the ocean, and you still see it now.
yeah.
It is this creature or animal called the mudskipper. It looks completely like a fish, but its fins are, I guess, strengthened, or the bone is thicker or something, where they can drag themselves and jump and leap across land.
Is this a fish?
Yes. It's not an amphibian.
It exists.
It exists, yes. People keep it as pets. Yeah. People keep it as pets. They have one end of the tank where they have like soil, and then I guess the second half of the tank where it's just deeper, where they can moisturize.
Yeah.
Because they're not at the point yet where they can live with dry, being dried out, basically. Like amphibians, they always have to be moist.
In water. Yeah.
And besides toads can be dry a bit.
Yeah. Well, enough science.
Yeah.
No.
No science?
You're like, enough marine biology.
Well, going back to the inhabiting another planet, I did see that the forefront of this achievement or this goal for our planet is Elon Musk. He's the one trying to get us out there. He's the one
making the efforts
to get to Mars.
Hit those high glass ceilings. No,
there you go. They're breaking the glass ceilings because we are a human race. In a few years, we went from like horse-drawn carriages to steam engines, and now gasoline, diesel engines, and we move a lot.
Lithium-powered cars.
Oh, that's the new thing. Yep, electricity.
Well, electric cars.
Electric cars. Yep.
Yeah.
So who's to say we can't do that on another planet? Of course, it's going to be very, very harsh, very difficult, and very time-consuming. Very time-consuming.
Do you think in the next 20, 50, or 100 years we'll accomplish something like that?
I think it's going to take a while. That's something for certain. So I'll give it 50 plus years. 50.
So you don't think Musk will be the person to...
He'll probably end up having to pass on the project.
Yeah. As most brilliant minds are like.
Of course. Was a lot of brands too, a lot of these brands, the creator or the inventor of such brand has already left.
Yeah.
Like Ford. He's gone.
Adidas.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully we get this done in my lifetime. Even though it's something super dangerous, it's something, so exciting.
Well, yeah, definitely. It would be something good to see in our lifetime, but I feel like it's kind of scary, don't you think?
Very,
And like the brave people who give themselves to these like ideas and projects and like things that are going on in the world that are much bigger than, us as a human race. Like you've got to have something big. I'm just gonna say big balls to like
do that. Very brave, very
to just jump out the window and
just imagine an astronaut and we're just going to the upper atmosphere and that you can still see Earth. Just imagine that.
Yeah, definitely interesting. So
yep. And the distance between such planets is undescribable. I know you see them in the textbooks, but it doesn't paint the picture of how far these are, how much planning it goes to. Speaking of planning, just a lot of planning goes even to our lives, where we have to schedule every day of the week, work, groceries, whatever. It's just imagine how much planning has to go in.
Everything. Yeah, I'm so sick of planning. I'm like,
it's so stressful.
Yeah.
Just planning, even for the simplest thing, you gotta move a whole bunch of stuff around what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Which just too many components, like even a doctor appointment, a checkup, a meeting, a phone call.
Even a meeting.
A freaking Zoom is like, you gotta coordinate with all these people, make sure everyone knows, make sure, everybody does their part before you get into that Zoom call or whatever it is you're doing.
Of course. Even, I know a lot of people stick to a schedule.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know I stick to a schedule, Monday through Saturday, I consider that work. And if I don't, Saturday and Sunday, I dedicate to other things like a podcast, perhaps.
So we're always working, is what he's saying.
And it's something necessary.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely enjoyed recording. I think it opens the door to like all these conversations that, I mean, we would have off camera, off mic, but it's way better, I think, to like be able to share that with the world.
Be able to broadcast and get your thoughts.
And I don't know if we've mentioned, we are on Spotify now and Apple Podcasts, so Amazon Music, and pretty much anywhere you get your podcast from. So that's super exciting for us. Hopefully we're able to grasp a much broader audience. And hopefully that audience, is loyal and stays, invested in our podcast.
And we will try
I think
half of the bargain. And
back to the schedule, I think what me and Johnny were thinking is a weekly thing. So hopefully we'll be able to stick to that schedule.
We're gonna try to stick to that schedule. There's a lot of things happening. Even little things can take so much time.
Yeah.
Going even to just get breakfast, the line, and not even considering the traffic getting there, a good 30 minutes just to get coffee.
Also here in Houston, speaking of traffic, you never know. Like, you can get on the road and think it's a 5-minute drive.
Oh, 10 minutes tacked onto that.
30, 40 because people, I don't want to say people decided to wreck or whatever, but Houston road rage is no joke.
Oh yeah, and just
the other day it took me an hour and 40 minutes to get to my job, which that's typically a 35-minute drive.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little closer.
Because it was car wrecks.
I have a 10-minute commute to my job, and that's like the quickest I can get there is 8, but longer, give it 20.
Yeah.
Because the highway I do exit 2 is a very traffic high highway.
Dude, you live like 2 minutes from my office.
That's crazy.
So I'm like, I want to move on that side of town,
Well, even then, that commute can go up to 10,
15 minutes, yeah.
There you go. Especially when you hit red lights.
Yeah. Back to current news. Did you hear UPS drivers getting a raise?
Oh, did they?
So they're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Per year,
I would expect it.
And it's not an easy job.
Oh, by all means, it's not.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
not
just
an easy job.
get off your truck and just deliver a box. But I spoke to one actually when I was at my job working. He said he had like hundreds of boxes to deliver.
Yeah.
And just looking, I'm pretty sure many of y'all in the audience have viewed into a UPS, a USPS van just filled with boxes. Ooh, it's a nightmare.
Well, all the carriers.
All the carriers, yeah.
I mean, the world is driven by,
deliveries.
Yeah, literally. Cargo, deliveries, online shopping, all these things.
Yeah. And you see these drivers at random times, early in the morning or even late at night. I was leaving work the other day, and when I was at a red light, I see a UPS still working, still going strong.
Yeah.
And just to work there, I would just expect that pay to be good.
Yeah, from what I saw, I think they're getting up to $175,000
A year?
a year. That's good money.
That's good money.
I mean, that's definitely a comfortable salary.
And these days, yes.
You know,
These days.
who knows in the next 5 years if that'll be a comfortable salary, but today I think that's comfortable, and you can definitely get your family ahead on that. Which is good for them. The downside, and this, is not on UPS drivers or any drivers, is the package thefts. I don't know if it's a big thing for you, but every day, like, I get on my neighborhood app and it's like, oh, package stolen.
Definitely.
I feel like now people are just kind of waiting for something to get delivered.
They're preying on the UPS delivery guy themselves.
So that goes back to tie into their salary. I think it's great that they're getting these amounts because the world is crazy. You don't know if, like Johnny says, somebody's preying on this, driver to get a package down. This guy probably gets held up at gunpoint or, offer a package.
Not even that. A lot of these vehicles are opened. You drive next to a UPS truck, and their door's always open.
Yeah.
It's always open, and just imagine they park, they leave the back door open, and people just go in there, toss 3-4 packages in like 5 seconds, and that could be from $50, $10 a package to $300, depending on the item. Yeah. And if something very expensive can fit within my hands, just imagine how much money not only the customer wasted, but now that the UPS has to refund. And it's just lost money, time, and patience. Because they have to deal with that. The delivery drivers have to watch out for these porch pirates. That's what they're called, porch pirates.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're called, porch pirates.
Correct.
That's what I see on the headline. It's like,
very,
porch pirates stole all my packages. It's like
very eye-catching as well, because I've seen those as well.
Yeah.
And I've even seen people retaliating. There's
for sure.
There's this one creator on YouTube. He will retaliate. He'll make a box, an Amazon box, and he'll put glitter bombs and a camera and a chip to track the package.
Yeah.
And he'll get that as content. I think that's amazing because
that is amazing. That's
so
smart.
Yes, very, very smart. And I say to those who have stolen a package or to whomever will,
You're a bum.
I hope you get glitter.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Seriously, stop stealing packages. Those packages sometimes contain medicine, necessities,
technology,
freaking baby wipes.
Anything and everything is in a box.
Stop stealing. Seriously.
Yeah, but they have retaliated. I say one thing is, because nowadays you can track everything on your phone, the whole delivery process. And all I say is just have either you pending at the door or someone in your family or in the house just waiting for that package for you. And my coworker, he calls someone at the house. He makes sure that someone's at the house.
Yeah.
To sign off and collect it right away. Even food with your Instacart and your Uber Eats.
Oh, dude, I've seen videos where they deliver the food to the wrong person. That person takes it, and then the driver goes back and says, "You took the food and it wasn't for you," or the person says they never got the food. Like, they'll go back on DoorDash and put, "Oh, never got the food," and then DoorDash calls the driver. The driver ends up going back, recording the person either eating the food, or they're like, "Dude, I gave you the food. You need to tell them that I gave you the food because I'm losing my job. I could lose my job."
They put people like that.
They put them on blast, which
on blast. They're just jeopardizing honest people.
Yeah, so
you're
just
doing a job.
Be honest. Stop stealing.
Don't do anything heinous to people working. Because I've taken Uber myself.
I thought you were gonna say I've taken food and.
Oh no! I could never. make sure I can get my own.
Yeah, that's karma, dude.
Karma. And I've taken Uber myself.
Yeah.
And I've also heard that people cancel mid-route, so they won't have to pay up at the end of the route.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
If you can't get anywhere money-wise, just use it. Just don't go anywhere, or
just stay home.
Stay home, or just find a way, walk, bike.
Or get your money up, not your funny up.
Exactly.
Seriously, playing games with people's livelihoods is not.
Yeah. Because I say that Uber and Uber Eats is kind of viewed as a job, not taken very seriously. Like even myself, I don't know how it feels.
For some people though, it's serious. Like
very much. They invest so many hours.
I'm not a user of those platforms. Like, you know, thankfully my wife will cook, I will cook, or like we always have a snack, you know, like, and my wife will like refuse to order on DoorDash, Uber Eats, just because the world is funny.
Very
you know,
funny.
so we don't know, like we've seen stories of drivers, you know, spitting in the food, or, you know, just things like that we don't ever want to like encounter ourselves, so we just avoid it completely. But like it is screwed up to have somebody lie on you if you're doing an honest job, you know?
Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's enraging.
Oh, for sure.
Because I'm pretty sure many of you in the audience have worked or still work in a fast food environment. It doesn't just have to be Uber Eats or DoorDash. You can work at a fast food restaurant and the exact same thing happened to you.
Yeah.
Customer comes up, I ordered this.
And they lie on you. One time, I used to work at the movie theater, and we served like food, right? One time, I had this one person who I was like running food to. She ordered a strawberry lemonade. She literally kept giving me the lemonade like 5 times. She said it didn't taste right, this and that, and like just to get the supervisor to comp her meal, because we all in the back were like drinking the same lemonade.
And it tasted fine for you?
It tasted fine, yeah. We're like, dude, there's nothing wrong with it, but and for me, it didn't matter to me, right? It's not my business. I'm not taking the loss, but it's like you're making my job difficult. I've got tables
waiting on your service.
I've got people waiting on my service, and I'm caught up with you because you want to get, you know,
your
free
meal
food.
compensated.
So it kind of goes back to just honesty and character, I think.
Yes. Definitely character, because I'm pretty sure if you see someone doing that, you would not think highly of them.
Yeah, and it sucks when you're on the opposite end of that. Like when you're the person that has to show face and deal with it. It's not fair.
It definitely isn't, because a lot of these people out here think they could take advantage,
and they do.
And they do try, and unfortunately, some people do get away with it.
Yeah.
And people do lose their jobs. I'm pretty sure so many people lost their jobs because of it. Pretty sure.
So I guess this is a good thing to have a conversation on. Do you think the customer is always right?
I think not. I think
let me say this. If it's your business, it's your customer, is the customer right? Or I guess is it situational?
It's definitely situational for me. That phrase, I'm pretty sure was coined back in the day, and these times have changed. That phrase is no longer as strong as it was back in the day, because you will have these people trying to devalue not only the customer service in general or an employee outright, or just do something heinous like get free food or
free service.
Exactly.
Yeah, so for sure.
It's definitely a flawed catchphrase these days. Definitely.
So you're standing on customers not always right?
Exactly.
And you will correct them if needed.
Actually, I have.
Or would you avoid the conflict?
I would not avoid the conflict, but I won't over exaggerate. I'll give you an example. I was working, and basically what we do, we do a servicing of these customers. that we do document destruction, and basically we do this place once every month. And as I was entering the building for the second time, a lady came up to me and she told me that we missed service on this one unit we have on their building, and I told her to not worry. I'll get to you when I'll get to that unit when I finish this other side. And she kept insisting, no, you missed this unit. I had to empty it myself. This and that. And I was just thinking, it's a unit that's not hidden anywhere. It's out there, and we don't miss any units. We don't miss. We know our route. We know where everything is.
I mean, everything is planned before you get there.
Of course. Everything's in the same place, and it's not. One thing I've noticed is that customers in my job do kind of feel bad when they fill up, and I always tell them it's okay. I'm actually glad that you filled our unit up, because it's telling me that you're using us to not only a proper extent but to a extended extent, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, that we can continue to provide you this service. And I feel like there's always that one
person that's...
I was going to say Karen, but the one Karen that is just going to make your life a living hell in those 5 minutes that she's got you. And to those people, you are scum of the earth.
Well, there's also Karen.
There's valid reasons, though, to be Karens. But if you're a Karen without valid reasoning, you are scum of the earth.
Well, it's not just Karens, there's Kevins out there. That's the new...
Karens and
Kevins. I think that's the male version.
Yeah.
And...
I think I can be a Kevin sometimes.
Oh, definitely me too.
And, like, my wife will tell me if she wants something done right, or, like, hey, they dropped the ball here.
You gotta step up.
I gotta be a Kevin.
Well... Like
which I don't mind it, but...
You just have to have valid reason behind it.
Again, yeah, you've got to have validity to what you're even complaining about. If there's no validity,
you're just speaking empty words.
Why make this person's life a living hell? You know?
Difficult.
Yeah, just let them
be.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely like, I think being a Karen or a Kevin is either tied to having a bad day or a bad week, where you just have all this frustration and pent up, or it's tied to entitlement. A person having their way, and when they encounter you, they expect the same thing, and then the reason it escalates is because you resist.
I can definitely see the entitlement thing being a thing in today's society, because at least most people I run into, they're just so centered around themselves. So everything is me. They will never take a second to, like, look at the outside world or the needs of the other people, you know? It's always me.
I try to be
so
like that.
Definitely entitlement is big in 2024.
I try to be open to the other person's perspective.
But always, though, and there are certain people that are like that, and certain people that
are not, just outright are not.
Cannot.
Like that. Or cannot.
Even if they tried,
They can't stomach it.
Yeah. No, they just can't, even if they tried to. Like, but anyway, back to, you said people having a horrible week. How was your week?
Well, my week, of course, it's...
Today's Sunday, by the way.
It's Sunday, yes. It's the end of a week. The new week is already on the horizon. But I say my week...
It's there. I can see it.
I can see it coming up on the window. But my week, it went good. The reason they always go good is because it's as expected. Like I said, we get comfortable with our schedule, and that's me right now. I'm very comfortable. And even though I do have to move my weekend around for this wonderful project, I don't mind.
Everything else is routine in your life.
Everything else is routine. Work.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty much it. It's a basic routine, but it's a routine that I've grown
to love,
fond of.
Yeah.
And I haven't grown old of, because I know I'm getting my ends meet, and it's very good seeing.
Fulfilling too.
Oh, fulfilling, yes. It's very good to see.
I feel you on that.
that work pay off, definitely. Every other week or however much.
For sure. So I feel the same way pretty much. I'm like,
just keep the ball
my
rolling.
whole week is a highlight, even though we complained about, schedules and this and that.
Schedules.
It's a blessing to be able to show up, show out, and be able to do that each and every single time.
Well, this is fitting into our schedule, and it will be routine. This will be something that's gonna be interwoven in our schedule now.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people say, change is frightening, but change can also be good.
Do you think this has been good so far?
Very good so far. I know I have to work through this thick wall of nervousness. I have it sitting in my lower chest right now.
I would definitely say you're doing way better.
Oh yeah, I'm just I'm very calm on the outside, but on the inside I'm kind of like shaking.
Yeah,
we're getting through this.
That's with everything. I feel like we're like croissants. We're baking in the oven, and we're kind of like still, white and raw
in the inside.
Yeah, but once we reach golden flakiness perfection,
everything's smooth as butter.
It's game over.
Game over. It's just good.
Something I'm super excited about. So Katt Williams, right?
Yes, I have seen some of his comedy. Right, he's a comedian.
Comedian.
I have seen some
legend.
Clips.
Yeah, super legend in the comedy world.
Yeah.
Caught me by surprise. Nicki Minaj goes on live Instagram.
Oh really?
And she's asking the fans to get her in touch with Katt Williams to get his fee for him to go on tour with her.
Oh wow! I know. With a lot of platforms, the audience is very powerful.
Oh, for sure.
Especially like, it doesn't just have to be any rapper or singer. It can be a YouTuber. It can be a TikToker. I know. Somebody
in politics, a congressman, congresswoman. It could be anybody, and
anybody can have a big.
If they can draw the audience, that just helps their message get heard.
I'm pretty sure Nicki succeeded, or the audience succeeded.
I hope so, because I'm gonna be at the show she has here in Texas, and
how close are you gonna be?
I think I'm like 3 rows on like the 3rd level or something. So I know I'm not far, but I'm not super duper close.
To climb on stage and just shake your hand.
Be shaking more than that hand. But I'm definitely excited to even see if it does end up happening. How would that mesh into a musician's tour? Like I'm assuming,
comedian.
Yeah, I'm assuming he would come out and say jokes, say some lines, and then bring her in,
or just have him sing.
Close the show,
or sing some of her lines.
I don't know, but I'm interested in that. I'm definitely eager to see, and hopefully they can work something out and it ends up happening, because that would be epic.
Well, I'm definitely gonna ask you a lot of questions once it's over, because it's a very outlandish duo.
Exactly.
But it's a very exciting duo, because
kind of like us.
And kind of like us. There you go. Because I have seen some clips of his comedy shows, and I do enjoy him. I know he did a clip of how weed is growing or getting more intense super quick.
Oh, THC levels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally haven't tried any, but it sounds outlandish.
Yeah, that man is a comedic genius. Anything you are excited for?
Honestly, the only thing I would be excited for is just getting comfortable with us and with the audience, with this beautiful project we're doing. And I'm very grounded in what I'm doing.
Yeah, you really are.
I'm not too out there with like concerts or events. I know the rodeos here in Texas, and I haven't been to the rodeo.
Cook-off started 4 days ago?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I know I have some
4 or 5 days ago, I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I know I have some friends attending it,
Yeah.
and it does look exciting, but I've never been. I've never been there.
Maybe you should go.
One day, maybe at the end,
Because Cookoff is the precursor to
the actual rodeo.
the actual rodeo.
Okay.
Which I don't know who all is performing this year at least, but I know 50 Cent will be there. Are you a 50 Cent fan?
I do like some of his songs, but I'm very out of touch with his music. I would say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing. Most of the hits are, you know, I wouldn't call them oldies, but they're back.
They have some
back
age
in the
to
day.
them.
Yeah, they've got some age.
Some rust.
But you know, he moved to Houston.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
it's not.
That's. I mean, as a Houstonian, I wonder what like his stage presence will be, or like.
Does it bring you like some pride in any way? Some oomph to like, because you're here and he's here. Does it energize you?
Not really. I'm not a big 50 Cent fan, but I like his music. I mean, like I would definitely, if I were to go to the rodeo, that's one of the shows I would want to go to.
Definitely. I know, besides the main.
Maybe we should get rodeo tickets.
I'm up for that. 100%. I'm up for that.
So.
It's such a I say it's such a Texan thing to have rodeo in the first place.
For sure.
And being Texans ourselves, it just doesn't make sense missing out on such an event.
For sure. Well, we don't want to hold you guys too long, so we'll close out the episode. Anything you want to tell the viewers or the audience that maybe they should know?
Well,
we already told you guys where we're available on. So.
Yep. First and foremost, thank you very much. The first episode did so well. It definitely exceeded my expectations tenfold. And it just excites me that much more to be not just in this project, but
to be able to give the audience something
interesting, something to watch, or something to listen to while you're going to working or working out in any activity of the day. It's just very exciting.
Definitely, thank you guys for watching. Definitely feel free to drop some comments below. Let us know what you want to hear. Any questions you've got for the host up here at Unposted Thoughts.
And tell us how we did.
For sure.
Tell us how we did.
Constructive criticism is good. So let us know. Aside from that, I think we're good. We're good. So we'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned.